Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing a alternate history election prediction between Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. This would have happened in 2016. But before I get to the video, I want to say that I'm very happy that I reached and that we all reached over 10,000 views on the combined YouTube channel. 10,000 views is pretty amazing. I'm glad we got that. I remember when I was at 1,000 views and I really appreciate it. And I guess as a little celebration video, I don't know if I'm gonna do something for 10,000 overall views, but I'm very happy about that, and thank you guys so much for all of the views. And obviously, we are continuing to grow on our subscriber count. Now we're at 112 subscribers, so I'm very much happy about that. Thank you guys so much for everyone who subscribed, and if you like the videos and you haven't made the decision to subscribe, I hope that you do so. But anyway, let's get right into the video. Just want to thank you guys for 10,000. Let's get right into it. I don't want to talk about anything else. Okay, so basically, you can't, with this electoral map, I can't change the districts in Nebraska, so I'm just going to have to give the state at large to one candidate, and the same with Maine. So whatever candidate I believe will gain the most from the state, I'm going to give it to them. My bad, I did not mean to click Massachusetts. All right, but I probably will in a second. Anyway, we're going to start off with safe standard states. Now, remember, before I start this map, remember, in 2016, I know it's only 5 years ago, but socialism, obviously Sanders known as a socialist, socialism was much more unpopular than it is nowadays and much less mainstream than it is nowadays, where there was an actual mainstream candidate. Now, I know Sanders got about 50% of the Democrat primary vote. Obviously, he lost the primaries at 48, 49, actually probably about 40. But a lot of those voters were anti-Hillary, and a lot of them were not socialists, but they just thought that Sanders was a better person than Hillary. So don't be surprised if some of the states that you would assume to go normally to the Democrats don't go, and that is simply because in 2016 the country was much more conservative. I mean, we have trended since 2016, since 2000, since the 1900s, we have continued to trend in the leftward direction. So even in 5 years, the map will look different than it has already. But we're going to start with safe standard states. I'm not going to include Oregon in the safe count, but I'll probably include it in the likely count. I just think that Sanders, that margin in Oregon, and I'm not going to include Rhode Island and Connecticut. The margin in Oregon is just a smaller margin than it is in Washington. And Trump is more popular. Back in 2016, he did win the 2016 election. That gives him an advantage. And that's going to be about it for the safe standard states. I'm going to include, I'll include Illinois. But yeah, that's about it. 154, still a decent amount for Sanders as a socialist, but let's get to the Trump safe states. Obviously going to be more safe, and I'll include Nebraska as a safe state for Trump. And we also have to remember this was back in 2016, so states like Texas and Georgia and Arizona were more Republican back then. So for safe, and states like Florida were more to the center, and Ohio slightly more to the center. Georgia will be a safe state out of all these. Texas still not safe, obviously started its trend, but it'll probably be included soon. Now likely Democrat states will include New Jersey, Connecticut, Oregon, and I'm going to include Colorado. Sanders supports legalization of marijuana. Colorado, big marijuana state, very much in favor of it there. And that's going to be about it for the likely Democrat states. Now back to likely Republican. That'll go with Texas, Arizona, and Iowa. Now Trump won Iowa by almost 10 points, about 9.6%. In 2016, it'll probably be about that margin. Now, Sanders is more popular in that area, the rural area of America, surprisingly, and in the Rust Belt area, but Trump still has the popularity, and Sanders, still labeled as a socialist, is not going to help him, even over there. They like his charisma, but his policies don't outweigh that. In Arizona, much more to the right than it became in 2018 and 2020. Now, that's going to be about it for the likely Republican states. Now, lean Democrat will be New Hampshire and Maine. Still the Northeast will go to the Democrats. Virginia will be lean Democrat, as well as New Mexico. And that's going to be about it for the lean Democrat states. Sanders, obviously, New Mexico trending more to the left. Same with Virginia and New Hampshire, Maine. Sanders has a Northeastern appeal. He'll win those states. And Maine, I couldn't give, obviously, that district to Trump, but, it's fine. If If it's that close, then I'll say it out loud, but I don't know if it'll be that close or down to the wire. Now, that's it for all the lean Democrat states. We'll go to lean Republican. That'll be Florida, North Carolina. These are states Trump won. Trump won Florida by about 1.5 points. North Carolina by about 3.7, almost 4 points in 2016. Ohio's lean. And I'm going to put Wisconsin as lean. I think, actually, no, I'm going to leave Wisconsin out of it for now. I still think Wisconsin would have been in the tilt area. But Florida, North Carolina, Ohio. Ohio slightly more to the right than the other two, but Trump will win those states pretty significantly, especially in Florida. Lots of Cubans, Venezuelans, Puerto Ricans, people that are from, I guess, what you would call socialist, communist. I know that those terms have somewhat been synchronized, whether people appreciate that or not, but they will come out and they will vote in pretty large numbers against Sanders, or would have voted in pretty large numbers against Sanders. But we're down to the final 5 states, and these are going to be tilt toss-up states. I'm going to start with a tilt Democrat state. Let's see. I'm going to say Nevada is tilt Democrat. I think Sanders will slightly win Nevada. I do think that the Hispanic turnout will hurt Sanders in Nevada. But I still think there's a higher proportion of Democrats to Republicans there back in 2016 still. Clinton still won it. I can't really tell who was more unpopular, Clinton or Sanders, compared to the entire country, not the Democrat Party. And I still think Sanders would tilt Nevada, probably 0.5%. Now for Trump, all tilt states, we're going to go with Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Obviously, that gives Trump the presidency. He will win back the Rust Belt by tilt margins, pretty much similar margins he won in 2016. And in this scenario, I'm going to give Trump Minnesota. Tilt Minnesota to Trump. I think that he'll take that full Rust Belt. He only lost Minnesota actually in 2016 by 1.5 points. It was a more conservative country back then. I don't think that Minnesota, it would have flipped red for the first time in about 45 years or 40 years. I don't think Minnesota was ready to vote socialist. I do think it was a lot of the northeastern states, some of the states trending to the left, and then the West Coast states. But besides that, I think it will be a Trump wave, essentially. Trump plus 300 electoral votes, obviously not a super wave, but Trump wins that election. Trump will continue to go on to become 45th president of the United States, so the overall history wouldn't change much. But I think Sanders would do slightly worse than Clinton, and if I could give one state up between them, I would have given up Minnesota, although Minnesota, Clinton did incredibly poor, and I still think Sanders would do even worse than Clinton. But anyway, let me know if you disagree with any of the predictions. If you think that I got anything wrong about the Rust Belt or was too lenient against Sanders or on Sanders, then or on Trump, then make it known, please. I'd like to respond to anything you got to say. But anyway, thank you all for watching. We're at 112. If we can get up to 120, that'll be awesome. If we got up to 120 by, I don't know, I guess September, maybe, that's a little hard. Maybe September 5th. That'd be awesome. Thank you guys so much. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and have a great day.